funny. They're like, man, get your walls fixed, buddy.
I know, for real, right? It's all because we getting the walls fixed. We getting the walls fixed.
Kung Fu flip that.
I know. Man, clean up your basement, fool. But seriously, though, well, I ain't got to be serious. I just got to tell the truth. The point I was trying to make before was that people come out of, there's been people that have taken martial arts, like go research, I think it's called I Studied at a McDojo, or I'm a Victim of a McDojo. And so it's people that have taken the martial arts or a martial art or whatever for years, and they didn't really learn anything. And they go out and they finally get some pressure put on them, and they get destroyed. Because something else that nobody wants to hear. Sometimes if you're not really good at something, you just might not be good at it. You just might not be good at it. Even though martial arts are for everyone, you gotta, if you're gonna be a quote unquote fighter, you gotta be good at fighting. And it might take you forever to get to what we consider to be black belt proficiency, and that's fine. It took me forever to get the rankings I got. It took me forever, man. Forever. I think most people would have quit. Right? Most people would have quit long ago. They wouldn't wait 10, 15 years for some ranks.
Need some Jesus.
Right, that's another thing. People act like this is some kind of religion. It's not. It's not. So anyway, so the MMA people feel like the traditional people are liars. They feel like the cage is the truth. The traditional people feel like the cage is a lie. What we do, expression through body movement and self-defense, is the truth. The truth is, we really shouldn't be bickering back and forth about MMA versus traditional. I think it's all good. A lot of times you really can't make a delineation between a traditional martial artist and a mixed martial artist, because you got people that compete and function in both venues. I found out one guy I always spar against in judo. I'm sorry. Let me use the correct term for somebody gets mad because I use the taekwondo term talking about judo. That I do randori with. That I shiai with. That I have shiai'd with in the past. Okay? In Tachi Wazan Randori. And Ne Wazan Randori. He wins pretty much all the time because he's just awesome. But he's a mixed martial artist. I didn't know that. He started doing MMA. He did pretty good in this. In the fight I saw he had online, he did well too. Okay? But he doesn't go around poo-pooing the traditional art that's his main art that makes it possible for him to do the other stuff that he cross-trains in. That's his backbone. He doesn't go around poo-pooing that art. Is that because it's a grappling art? Could be. That's another thing. A lot of grapplers still think they don't need to learn how to strike. And a lot of strikers think they don't need to learn how to grapple. And I don't agree with that. I think you should learn both. And you're going to pick one to be your favorite thing. Everybody does. And you can pick one to be your favorite thing. I don't think you should completely shut yourself off from the other one. Because really, when you start actually getting deeper into your style, you're going to find out that your style has elements of quote-unquote other styles in it. What you're doing is just judging it by what you see in competition. If the competition for your style only allows punching, if you really knew your style, you would know that originally your style had some throws and kicks in it. But what you see manifested for most people is just the lower level aspects for competition. Oh, and there's another faction I see now in the martial arts of we never compete versus all we train for is competition. We never compete because what we do is too real, it's too deadly. Versus We train for competition because the stress of competition mimics the realities of a self-defense situation. It's as close as you can come to a self-defense situation without being in a self-defense situation. Both are right and both are wrong. Yeah, sure, if you're training for survival, fine. I don't want you going into some kind of anybody's match or tournament and, snapping the spine or anything like that. That's worse than sweep the leg, Danielson. I mean, come on, man. No. But at the same time, you can't apply, you shouldn't apply competition mindset to a self-defense situation necessarily, because you don't necessarily want to win. You just want to protect yourself. There was an MMA guy that got in a fight somewhere in the Mid-Atlantic region. I think it was Pennsylvania, if I'm not mistaken. He got a lot of heat because when he got into a bar fight, he went in the ground and pound on the person in a real fight. I found it because I was Googling. I just typed in banned martial arts. So this town that he was in wants to ban. They wanted to ban everything. They wanted to ban. I was looking. They were saying they want to ban Taekwondo. They wanted to ban Taekwondo. They wanted to ban all martial arts because of what one person did. Oh, here go the traditional people. See, that's why we hate that ground and pound. That's why we hate that cage. If it was the cage, because the cage taught them that. The cage taught them, ooh, the cage did it. It was the cage's fault. The cage did it. The evil cage. It's not the cage's fault. It was his fault. He did that. He did that. He got carried away. That's his fault. It's not the cage match's fault. And it's not the fault of anybody else but him. That was a grown man that did that. That wasn't a child that did that. That was a grown man. Now, if you want to debate that it's possible that the fights that we see on television could influence children to mimic those moves and hurt people, now you got an argument. Maybe there should be a way of trying to make that content not available for children. You got an argument there. So basically, it's hard to resolve the debate of is cage fighting good, is cage fighting bad, because both sides think that the other side is full of crap and are a bunch of liars. Cage fighting people look at traditional arts and say, there you go, learning a bunch of stuff that nobody would ever use in a real fight, and therefore it is not worth study. Let's just keep it simple with the things that work. Traditional people say it takes no skill to do what you do. MMA people, you're doing the most low-level things. You should learn how to do what we do. The truth? I don't know. I know I'm going to do what I do. I'm teaching Taekwondo. Put in some Judo in there with it. I don't teach people to ground and pound. Even though I think that, yeah, you ought to learn some ground fighting. I still need to work on mine. People have told me I'm good on the ground. That's fine. But I know I could improve. I can improve at a lot of stuff. I'm just going to keep doing that. And I teach my students to do that. But guys, the real debate is that both camps think that the other camps are a bunch of liars. And both camps think that what they have is the truth of the matter. I'm running out of time.